So mainly lecture 2 this is and lecture 3 today, which is current affair related that I will be discussing. So first understand two things I will discuss. One is section 497 and same-sex marriages. So same-sex marriages, as we know that it is a marriage between the same sex, marriage of two people of the same sex is same-sex marriage. So up to now, facts also important. Up to as of today, 35 countries got legal approval from their respective governments for same-sex marriages. A recent one is 29th November 2023. It was the Nepal which got the recognition for same-sex marriages. And recently, Estonia got same-sex marriage recognition and it is coming into force from 1st January 2024. So overall, by your interview date, 36 countries got same-sex marriage legal status. What is happened in India? What is the judgment all about? A constitution bench was been constituted, 5-member bench, and the Chandrachud, who was the head of the constitutional bench, he told that with a division of 3:2, that we are not going to give legal permission for same-sex marriages. So legalization of same-sex marriage is not allowed. But however, if you want to have same-sex marriages, please go near the parliament or the state legislature and ask them to make the respective legislation or ask them to make amendment to the Special Marriage Act and make it legalization. In this way, the Supreme Court gave the judgment. Now, the ball is in the court of petitioners to go and ask the parliamentarians to make a legislation by amending Special Marriage Act of 1954 such that in that Special Marriage Act, the same-sex marriages will be added so that it will be getting the legal status. So Supreme Court very clearly lifted the hands and told that nothing is in there in my hands. This is about the contemporary thing with respect to same-sex marriage. I think you all are aware of this. But how to make a judgment? How to make judgment? So there is arguments for and against. What are the arguments in favor of same-sex marriages? What are the arguments against same-sex marriages? Arguments for same-sex marriage. Equal rights and protection under the law. Equal rights is the right to choice. It's the right to sexual orientation. It's my wish to participate in sexual activity with any individual. Equality before the law. Everyone are equal. Equal rights. So under equal rights and protection under the law, hence same-sex marriages can be allowed. Right to marry and form a family. Strengthening arguments in favor of strengthening families and communities. Social and economic benefits to couples and their families, which also benefit the same-sex people. Strengthening the family system will be more strengthened. What will happen? Family means not only the boy and girl. No, the family can be a boy or a girl. So strengthening of the family system and communities also will grow. Second, third, cohabitation as a fundamental right. The Supreme Court told that marriage is nothing but cohabitation, both two people staying together or multiple people staying together under one particular roof is called as cohabitation. When there is a concept of cohabitation, it can be two males or two females or one male and one female. Hence, under the cohabitation as a fundamental right, same-sex marriages can be approved according to CGI. Biological gender is not absolute. This is a very beautiful sentence which is given by CGI only. Biological gender is not absolute, means biological gender we cannot just restrict to genitals. So biological gender means not only by genitals we cannot come to a conclusion, it can be anything. So first we have to understand that biological gender is not an absolute concept, means a male can become a female and a female can become a male just by surgeries. If that is the case, then biological gender is not absolute, then why not same-sex marriages can be accepted? And finally, global acceptance. As of today, 35 countries, and by January 1st, 2024, 36 countries globally accepted. Then why not India? It's a new global norm. It is a right to choice. Hence, these are the 5 points mainly with respect to favoring same-sex marriages. Disfavoring or against same-sex marriages, you know that religious and cultural beliefs, mainly the traditional religions like Christianity or Hinduism or Christianity or Islam or Judaism are not allowing for on religious basis and cultural basis. Procreation. The marriage definition itself is for procreation. The marriage definition is itself for promoting the next generation. If male-male marriage happen, if female-female happens, then how come the procreation will happen? It is completely illogical. Legal issues will come. What are the legal issues? The property sharing, the divorce issue. We have diverse issues with respect to male and female. But what about the diverse issue between a male and male and a female and female? What about the property? In all the legislations like Hindu Succession Act or Hindu Marriage Act, it is very clearly written male and a female, male and a female, male and a female. Now everything we need to amend it. So a lot of legal issues will come. Issue with adoption of children. When you are adopting, there should be a married male and a married female. There is nowhere we cannot adopt to a married both boys or married both girls, since there is an issue of adoption also. In this way, various issues are there with respect to same-sex marriages, arguments for same-sex marriage, arguments against same-sex marriage. So there can be another question, like it is asked, it can be asked in the various exams or various tests, we can expect this question like anthropological view of same-sex marriage. So culture point of view, there are cultures which are restrictive to the same-sex marriage. There are cultures which are permissive for same-sex marriage. For example, Lepcha people won't allow same-sex marriage, like Talibans. They will kill the people who are participating in same-sex marriages. Lepcha also very, very rigid. They never allows homosexuals. Homosexuality is a taboo in Lepcha tribal community. Permissive. Papago of North America, Knights of Saturnali, homosexual tendencies can be expressed on those nights. Exclusive nights will be there on that particular nights. Homosexuality, the people who are having homosexual feeling can express and can participate. There are tribal communities who are having sexual feelings with the same gender. Sivan, North Africa, whereby all males are expected to engage in sexual relation with young boys, 16 to 20 years. It's a cultural practice. If they are satisfying the elder females, then only they will be allowed to get married to the younger girl. Sevaga. Yetura of New Guinea also the same practice. So there are cultures which are permissive. There are cultures which are restrictive. But however, we know the famous examples like Azande, male-male marriage, because warriors cannot get married to a female. Girl marriages like newer society. So anthropological view also in various primitive societies, there is same-sex marriages allowed. There are same-sex marriages not allowed. So common anthro theories as to why homosexuality exists in societies, wherever the homosexuality is existing, where means where the population is increasing. In order to control the population, we have to control the marriage, that to heterosexual marriages. So they promoted homosexuality in order to control the population. Wherever there is scarcity of food supply, wherever there is scarcity of food supply, if a male and female get married, the children will born. Already they are suffering with scarcity of food supply. The scarcity of food supply will increase. Why? Because the child also will be added to the population. But if it is homosexuality, child will not be there. Procreation will not be there. Population will not be there. Hence, the scarcity of food supply will not go further. Complexity of society. As societies are becoming complex, right to choose the partner, right to choose the partner, right to have sexual orientation, right to have marriage, any person of the choice, right to have a sexual orientation. These all are extension of Article 21 of the Constitution. So complexity of societies. Because of all these things, in some societies, homosexuality has been accepted. Because of absence of procreation, because of legal issues, hence homosexuality is not accepted. And coming to your opinion, if someone asks you, what is your opinion, then you can very clearly tell that in the 21st century, we are giving importance to the fundamental right, Article 21, right to life and liberty. It is the right to privacy. It is the right to sexual orientation. Hence, to be in homosexual relation is also the right to choice. Hence, India should legalize right to same-sex marriages. Anyone have any contrary answer to it?
No, sir.
Tell me, please.
No, sir, I got your point.
Please come fast.
I got your point, sir. I accept your opinion.
Okay. Any contrary or anything you want to discuss, anything you want to share with me, Nikhil? Is this the right for way of expression so that you might get marks?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Manaswini, please.
Sir, actually, they are saying that it is in Parliament uh, to give right. I mean to say there is no judgment. There is no clear judgment. It is in the court of Parliament to decide whether to make it legal or not. Then how can we say in contrary to that one, sir? We cannot go. Can we go against the because in Parliament there is. I mean to say previously before this judgment itself, they were saying that it is against the Indian culture.
See, I will tell you the answer. See, first I will give you few examples. For example, Ayodhya construction of temple. When the parliament cannot make the law, they put the ball in the court of judiciary and make the judiciary to give the judgment. Like Ayodhya temple. Why? Because if the parliament make the judgment, when the parliament make a law that Ayodhya temple should come up, then the Muslims or the Hindus will blame whom? The parliamentarians. So they don't want to take risk. So they put the ball in the Supreme Court usually. Similarly, Section 377, when it got decriminalized, it was not by the law. Again, they sent the ball to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court and the Delhi High Court gave the judgment that the Section 377 should be decriminalized. The same way, now also, they send the ball to the Supreme Court, saying that same-sex marriages should be legalized or not. You are the person to make a judgment. But this time, what the Supreme Court did intelligently, they told that now we are not going to make any judgment. We are not going to legalize the same-sex marriages. But however, we will tell the parliament. We are not tell. They are not telling the parliament. They are telling to the petitioner. They are telling to the petitioner that if you want the same-sex marriages to be legalized, you go to the parliamentarians and ask them to make the bill and make amendment to the Special Marriage Act. So the parliamentarians are the right people who can make the judgment by making the law. Why? Because they are the people's representatives. So what I am saying is, what is my opinion is, my opinion is to the parliamentarians only. In 21st century, in the dynamic society, the complex society where the right to choice is very important, where right to life and liberty is very important, I am recommending to the parliament. Did you got my point?
Yes, sir. However, if they counter argue that it is against Indian culture,
No,
can we
no.
give any historical examples? Like, I don't know about any homosexual couples. However, we have examples of transgenders, right, sir?
Transgender is nothing but a person whose birth is one gender, and at the time after the growth, if the gender is different, those are called as transgender. So obviously that particular transgender, if they are participating, then it is called as homosexuality. First, we have to get the command on the definition. Transgender is that definition where the biological birth and the evolved gender is different. Those people are called as transgender.
Ah, yes, sir. However, I'm asking that if they counter argue,
They
like,
don't argue. See, they won't argue. They will tell that Indian culture. So I will tell you what is Indian culture, first of all. What is Indian culture? Indian culture or any culture will promote what? Right to choice, right to life and liberty. It's individual's choice. It's not about the culture, it's about the constitution. Culture is not bigger than the culture, right? So my answer also I brought from constitution.
Sir, can this be an argument? Like, definitely yes. Article 21 provides right to dignified life for every citizen. So, right to marry is also a part of Article 21 if we look at the broader examination. But then the society must also be ready to accept this marriage. There was a time when Section 377 was illegal, and the whole society used to look it as a taboo. But now we are talking about it. For the past 5 years, we have been talking. There were editorials on that, and Supreme Court has also decriminalized it. I think shall the same not apply with same-sex marriages? Because say suppose if the Parliament enacts a law in hurry when the society is not ready, and then there are same-sex couples who adopt children, and the same problems would come. Those children might get ostracized in the schools, saying your parents are from the same sex because society is not ready. So, sir, in my opinion, won't this be right that society also must evolve? And definitely it is progressing in that direction. Now we are talking tomorrow, this will increase. The percentage of people accepting this same sex marriage would increase. So then the conscience of people would get reflected in the parliamentarians, and then it can enact. Right now, definitely we need to support it. but the society is not ready is what
True, 100%. For this, I will give you one more example. Supreme Court, in the recent judgment of Sharma versus Sharma, the Supreme Court very clearly told that live-in relationship is legal. But at the same time, we should also understand that the live-in relationship is not acceptable by the society. So we got legal approval, but not societal approval. Obviously, more than the legal approval, societal approval is very important. So my recommendation, which is going to be, is based upon the Constitution of India.
right. According to constitution, we cannot deny them the right to marry person of their choice.
Yes.
Sir,
And
but in
one more thing. And our philosophy is also changing day on day. Our philosophy is becoming global. So according to the global philosophy which we are adopting, which we are changing on day on basis, so it is promoting more of egalitarianism, choice, sexual orientation, individualism, privacy. So this all obviously supports same-sex marriages legalization. Yes, so
sir, but in the same judgment, Honorable Supreme Court says that although choosing your sexual partner is under Article 21, which is the fundamental right, but the recognition of marriage by the state is not the fundamental right article under Article 21. That is why they said that it is the Parliament who should make law. We are not the one because it is not the part of fundamental right to recognized by the state of your marriage.
True. That is what. That is the reason. No, they shifted the ball to the parliament so that they have to amend the Special Marriage Act. See, in Special Marriage Act, there is mentioned that other marriages. Other marriages, they didn't mention what is other marriages. So now they have to add other marriages means male, male, female, female. If they add it, then they can make it proper legalization. So it is not added. So I cannot make any judgment. So I'm leaving it to the parliament. So this judgment which I gave you is my personal judgment based upon the Constitution of India.
Okay, and one more question, sir. As per the functions of marriage and function of family given by J.P. Murdoch, there are many functions which is not fulfilled by the same-sex marriage. So, can as a part of anthropological perspective, we could say that some point has been that some functions has been fulfilled, but there are many functions like the reproduction is not fulfilled by the same-sex marriage. If they ask anthropological perspective,
Very good. If they ask from anthropological perspective, whether we have, I very clearly told that this judgment is mainly based upon the Constitution of India. If they ask that, can you answer me from the perspective of anthropology? As you told, we will take the definition of marriage definition. According to the marriage definition, is a combination of male and female of opposite genders coming together, participating in the sexual activity. Then, according to the judgment, it is not becoming the marriage. Hence, anthropology is against same-sex marriages.
yes, sir.
What you told is
Sir,
right.
is there,
So,
sir,
Yes,
is
sir.
there no anthropologist who has supported same-sex marriage in recent times?
Surender, your voice is repeating. Please keep your mouth voice near you.
Sir, is there no anthropologist who has supported same-sex marriage in recent
No,
times?
no, no.
Okay, sir.
In this way, I will go to the next. But Soham, I like what you told. Soham told one very good point. He took the definition of anthropologist, and from the definition of anthropologist, whether anthropological context or anthropological perspective is supporting same-sex marriage. But but one more thing, if you go deeper, in anthropological perspective, marriage is not an universal institution. Also, we studied. Did you remember? Marriage
Yes,
is
sir.
not universal institution. Why? Because male marriage, female marriage, and male after marriage also not cohabiting each other. Hence, there are deviation. Marriage as a universal institution also. So one of the universal institution which is deviating from marriage definition is same-sex marriage. But we can take the definition of any anthropologist and we can move on.
Yes, sir.
So if I asks, I believe this society is visible for you, right? The society PDF.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. So see, if there is a question, Nikhil, can you differentiate properly what is the difference between the society and the culture?
So culture is an abstract concept. It is the complex whole of all knowledge, beliefs, art, laws, which a man or a human acquires as a part of society. And society is like it is a physical part where humans exist. All the places where social activities take place, that is society. So culture is something which is intangible, and society is like where people live and where they.
Yes. Uh, I tell 100% egalitarian society is impossible.
Right, sir.
No, 100% right. No, it's not yes or no. Why? Why right?
There is always a hierarchy in any society, sir. In any given society, there will be hierarchy other than few African tribes.
Yeah, good. In any given society, there will be differences, and the differences will lead to inequality. Inequality results in discrimination. Then discrimination leads to indifferences, or it results in social stratification.
Also,
Social,
what is right according to one society may not be right in terms of other societies, sir.
okay. What is difference between, one more question, which is previous interview question, this is, what is difference between hierarchy and stratification? हायरार्की क्या होता है, स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन क्या होता
Stratification is differentiation, sir. Different compartments.
है? Okay, means there won't be any discrimination.
There won't be any discrimination. I cannot say there won't be any discrimination. Stratification can be vertical or horizontal, sir. However, hierarchy is vertical. There is kind of eliteness. I think my words, how to say, there is some kind of eliteness in it, sir. There is like level up, level down. It's like a vertical stratification is hierarchy, and coming to stratification, it's just differentiation. In culture itself, there are different differences. If we see in same community, same caste, there is a stratification of men and women. It's like a no, tappa, sir. Adi?
No, correct only what I told. Correct only.
Okay, so that's
One good point what you told is, so social stratification can be horizontal and vertical, whereas social hierarchy is completely vertical. Anything, Nikhil?
Sir, in stratification, I feel there is some form of oppression, whereas hierarchy, it is just the upper and lower levels. Hierarchy can be an office also, but stratification, it requires a basis, more or less rooted in social inequalities.
So hierarchy is just an arrangement.
Yes, sir, that I'm thinking, but I may be wrong also.
The good thing, so hierarchy is an arrangement from upper to lower, lower to upper without discrimination. Social stratification, it's an arrangement upper to lower or within the horizontal with the discrimination, with inequalities, is social stratification. So in social stratification, discrimination will be present. Hierarchy, discrimination will not be present. For example, Varna is the best example for social hierarchy. Caste is the best example for social stratification. Accepted?
Varna itself is a stratification, no, sir. Varna concepts itself stratify people based on their occupation. Okay, there is mobility in the
There is
caste.
mobility there in Varna. So a lower can become an upper. Upper, it's an arrangement. When any person can move up and any person can come down, means obviously there is an arrangement.
But the ones which are in higher hierarchies will have dominance over the lower ones, which in turn leads to discrimination also.
No. See, in Varna, when studying about original Varna, if you see the difference between the Varna and the caste, in Varna, discrimination is absent. In caste, discrimination is present. In Varna, the social status is associated. Social status means what? He is having the social status, he will not have the social status. Because of that, there will be no discrimination in Varna. So in order to improve my social status, a Shudra can also become a Brahmin in Varna. But in caste, the social status will be differentiated, the discrimination will be present, the domination will be, that is a major difference between the caste and Varna. What do you say, Nikhil?
But the Varna which you are speaking of is related to the Rigvedic Varna, sir. But in the later Vedic Varna, the mobility of Varna system was confined, which later turned into caste system.
Yes. That is what. See, I am talking about early Vedic, then later. Early Vedic is Varna and the later is caste.
Okay, sir.
Culture. See, I read somewhere, E.B. Taylor told acquired, Malnovisky told inherited. The culture is acquired, one person told, the culture is inherited, another person told. What is the difference in those definitions of culture?
Inherited is something which is genetic, sir. And the acquired one means which we learn it by seeing others and copying others.
So Malnovisky told the culture will be inherited through blood.
Inherited means it's genetic also, no, sir.
No, my question is, the culture definition was being given by Malnovisky as well as E.B. Taylor. And E.B. Taylor told E.B. Taylor culture is a combination of all knowledge, values, etc., which are acquired. Whereas Malnovisky told culture is nothing but a combination of material, non-material, which are inherited from the society. So I am asking you, what is the concept of acquired according to E.B. Teller? What is the concept of inherited according to Malnovisky?
Result of the society around them, inherited ones.
Sir, the acquired definition of culture, it says that culture arose as a response by a society to the happenings around it. So it is something which is original, which is acquired out of necessity. While inherited means it is passed down from generation to generation.
See, one thing, Manaswini, inheritance means what you are talking about, biological inheritance is different. Here, inheritance means traveled from one society to another society. Means I am learning from my neighborhood. I am learning from my society. I am learning from my early people. I am learning from the inheritance from the society to one society, not by blood. That is called as inherited part, which is told by Malnovisky. Whereas acquired part, which is told by E.B. Teller, means I can learn from any people. I can learn from America, I can learn from British, I can learn from anywhere. So his concept is I am going to learn from any other society. But Malnovisky's concept is culture will be given by the elder society to our society. Got it?
Okay.
Sir, can we say that as per the E.B. Taylor's definition, he talk about the individual acquisition of culture, where the subject is individual, but the Malinowski's thought is about the overall society, where which the one society generation acquired the culture from the earlier generation. So he talk about the generation to generation inheritance, while E.B. Taylor talk about the single person that he acquired from by the socialization.
Horizontal.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Culture is symbolic, culture is shared, holistic. What is different between culture and civilization? Also, they can ask. There is a essay question also. Culture, tangible, intangible. Civilization is only tangible. Culture is overt and covert, whereas civilization is only overt. Yes. Can anyone tell me what is the basic difference between acculturation and enculturation? Acculturation क्या होता है? Enculturation क्या होता है?
So the difference lies in the fact that the culture of one society is completely replaced by the other. But I'm not sure whether it is in acculturation or enculturation.
This is very important definitions, you understand. Acculturation and enculturation both are mainly with respect to learning. But how? In acculturation, I will create a system whereby I will be forced to change the culture is called as acculturation. Like Aurangzeb jizya tax. 2/3 of the tax need to be paid if you are non-Muslim. He will not ask for conversion. He will not ask for to change the culture. But he will tell that if you are non-Muslim, then compulsory you have to pay 2/3 of the tax. Then what I will do? Religion jaye bhaad mein. For me, 2/3 of the tax I don't have. I will go and join the Islamic society. Acculturation. Indian civil service examination will be conducted only in English language. So whatever may be my language, I will change it and I will learn English language only to write the examination. If the conditions are created such that there is no alternative left and I will change the culture is called as acculturation. Enculturation whereby by wish. Oh, English is a global language. My children should learn it. My son should learn it. My daughter should learn it. So that a lot of opportunities will be there in the future. By wish, if we change the culture, it is called as acculture, enculturation. Got it?
Sir, is there one more difference that in acculturation we are getting the traits of other cultures, while in inculturation we are learning the culture traits of our own culture? Because socialization is also part of inculturation.
Yes, yes. Two versions, correct.
Yes.
That is deeper. See, one beautiful example. See, every time we will discuss only about Nair, just for your sake. Every time, everyone will talk about Nair only. See, the Nair, a matrilineal society in Kerala, have an unusual family structure where women can have multiple partners, lineages trace to the mother, children belong to their mother family, men have minimal roles in their biological children lives. We know this Nair society. See this example. Mosowa of China, matrilineal society where women head the family and men are only visiting husbands. The structure has resulted in what's known as walking marriage. Moso of China. I felt interesting while I was making this content. My question to you, from anthropology context only, if the property is ancestral property and if the property is self-owned, in both of these conditions, where the children will be having the right to inherit the property?
Ancestral ones.
Ancestral one. Self-owned, very good. Ancestral one. In ancestral one only, they will be having the power to demand the property. What is Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005? Any idea?
No, sir. Can you please brief it?
Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005. Anyone?
No, sir.
Sir, I think it is related to women who can inherit their father's property. It is related to women who can inherit their father's property.
Very
For
good.
the answer.
Correct, correct. So just remember like this. Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. For the first time legally, up to now, Supreme Court interpretation, but legally accepted that the daughter, the wife, the daughter-in-law, the sister, the granddaughter will be having the legal right to inherit the property. Up to now, it was their only judicial interpretation. But in 2005, it has become part of a law. But ancestral property, as she told.
Sir, it was in the news a few months before about the some tribes of Assam where only the daughter can inherit the property of their parents.
Asis.
But uh, yes, sir, yes, sir. And they have some made changes that now from onwards that sons also eligible for that.
I will
But
tell
there
you.
are some protests from that. So can you please tell about that, sir?
I will tell you. Very interesting this is. Kasi tribal community is a matrilineal, matriarchal society whereby female dominated property will be in female line. So uniform civil code is also rejected in Kasi society. They are rejecting uniform civil code. Why? Because if uniform civil code come, then the property will be equally distributed between the men and female. So the demand of men of Kasi society is across India, according to Hindu Succession Act, the property is shared by the female equally. Why not in Kasi society? Why the property will not be shared with men equally? So men started agitating in the Kasi society. And the government of Meghalaya, it is government of Meghalaya who attempted to make a law to share the property equally between the male and female. Then what happened? The Kasi people, they came onto the roads and they did agitation that this is our culture. This is our cultural pattern. We have to continue with this cultural pattern. That is the issue all about.
Okay, sir. But can we relate that if from tomorrow the Hindu people come on the road and say that this is the culture of Hindus, that only son can inherit property, not the daughters?
No, no.
So can we change the law for that also?
Now, then what happened? Then the Legislative Assembly of Meghalaya, they didn't pass it, but they are trying to, they went for more deliberations. They didn't stop it, but they are making a lot of deliberations among the Kasi community.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
Obviously, the property should be shared equally. Why? Because it's again the Constitution of India, again Article 14, right to equality, again Article 15, no discrimination based upon gender, birth, and Article 21, right to life and liberty and property.
So here also we can use the Schedule 6 where governor has some special right.
Yes. I will tell anyhow in tribal India part, I will be discussing in detail about Schedule 5 and Schedule 6, inner line permit, etc. etc.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, Surinder.
Sir, since you brought the topic of uniform civil code, if the question is about if you are made the DM of a district, if you are made the IAS and you are being part of a committee which has to support government in implementing uniform civil code, then how will you use your anthropological knowledge in implementing it? What should we say, sir?
See, anthropology has, so any anthropologist we will think. So in anthropology, I understood the societies who are matrilineal societies and patrilineal societies. For example, matrilineal societies and patrilineal societies, whereby in patrilineal societies, female got discriminated and matrilineal society, men got discriminated. You will tell the examples. So from this both the knowledge, I came to a conclusion that if it is an egalitarian, there are tribal communities who are egalitarian societies where there is peaceful coexistence and universal brotherhood. So where the laws are equally applicable to male and female, unlike triple talaq or any other legislation, number one. Number two, coming to the religion part, there are tribal communities who are also accepting other religions like Santal tribal community where they are accepting and they are moving on. They are being more progressive. So looking into the progressive nature of the tribal communities, when the simple societies are accepting it, obviously the complex societies also should accept. Why? Because the complex societies are more educated, more literate, and more matured when compared to the simple society. So I take the examples from the simple society and I will explain to the public to make them understand, and by which I will attempt to make them persuade them? This is my answer. So the question is very good question from Surender. Anyone can share the answer. The question is, if you are a DM and in your district you need to implement UCC, so how you will persuade the people?
So we can use the help. We can take the aid and help of the religious leaders of tribals and
No.
non-tribal.
How your anthropology will be helpful?
Okay, sir.
So generally also we will talk. So we will take the religious leaders, number one. More?
And then, sir, we can use the cultural relativist approach also.
Okay. If that is the case, then we cannot go for uniform civil code, no? Every culture is unique in its context.
No, sir, but absolute cultural relativism is not good.
Okay.
Where the if the women are discriminated, then that will be the absolute cultural relativism.
Okay. Next. Anything more? Yes, Nikhil, tell me generally and tell me anthropological point of view.
So generally, the district administration can, as we discussed, talk to the elders of the religion and allay the fears that they are expressing. More or less, this uniform civil code, it pertains to property, marriage, and succession. So each of these can be dealt with individually. Whatever apprehensions they have, they can be talked about, and there can be an FAQ, like FAQ that can be released proactively by the district administration itself, so that even if there are any doubts, that FAQ can be referred to and think that UCC is not against them but for them. And anthropologically, sir, we can use the knowledge of integrating societies. We can also, sir, use this concept of emic view. Just instead of providing a book answer or providing a solution which is in the book, we can in fact stay with them, understand their culture. Then we'll exactly know what is the thing in the culture that is against UCC. So for that particular for that particular problem, solution will definitely be given in the UCC itself. For instance, Goa is one example where it is successfully having UCC, and despite having multiple religions, it is successfully implemented. It is because of the overall accommodative nature of UCC, sir. Similarly, by dialogue and other mechanisms, UCC can be implemented.
Okay, Manaswini?
Sir, I don't have any opinion, sir.
Mm.
I mean to say, I'm just building up my answer.
Sir, here one more point that I am having. We can also say to people that only secular aspect of the religion, like the marriage, divorce, succession, will be impacted. Not the religious basic, the core part of religion will be impacted.
Yes, see, I will add one more thing. So through UCC, if I want to implement UCC, I have a concept in my anthropology which is called as participant observation. So I will go into the minorities first. I will participate with them. I will become one among them. I will identify some flaws. And by identifying the flaws, and I will come up with solution through UCC. So as I participate with them, I understand them and I answer their question. So there is a chance of understanding because participation is there. Is that
Yes, sir.
means see anthropological context means few things you have to remember in your mind. As Nikhil told, emic, participant observation, tools of data collection, tribal examples, culture relativism, ethnocentrism. So these concepts, village studies, tribal studies, demographic studies, urban studies. So from this we have to bring the answer. When we bring the answer from this concept, it's called as anthropological way of writing an answer or explaining.
But sir, if you say that as a DM we can go for participant observation, but sir, that part will come in the policy formulation. But as a DM, we are the policy implementer, where already policy has been formulated by the legislature of the state.
Yeah. Yes. True. Then while implementing itself, I will go and I will explain about the importance of it by being with them, by staying with them. Means one among the emic, tribal example, participant, different dimensions.
Yes, yes.
Kinship. Henry Morgan is a person who studied about kinship systems. So why he studied kinship systems? Can anyone tell me the background before starting kinship studies in Iroquois Indians?
You talked about the miners They are exploiting, sir.
Once again, repeat.
You told 2 days before that, sir. He used to study the minors who are exploiting the Iroquois Indian.
Iroquois Indian. So he was an advocate of those people. Yes.
Yes, sir.
See, one more adoption. See, everyone, you know about consanguinity. I felt this will be useful for you. Consanguinity, blood relation, you know. Affinal or affinity means marriage relation. Fictive kinship means adoptions. If they ask, what is fictive kinships? Adoptions. By adoption, the relationship which is building is called as fictive kinship. Very tough question I'm going to ask now. What is difference between double descent, bilateral descent, ambilineal descent?
So double descent is the descent where an ego traces their descent from both maternal and paternal sides.
Maternal and paternal for few aspects.
Right, sir.
Few aspects from mother side, few aspects from father side, which is fixed, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Second.
Bilateral descent, sir, is the type of descent where the ego traces their descent from both the maternal and paternal side for almost all aspects, not like double descent where it is only for fixed aspect.
Yes. Ambilineal.
Sir, ambilineal descent is like one generation traces it from maternal side and the next generation traces it from paternal side.
What is difference between filiation and complementary filiation? Anyone?
Sir, filiation is like a descent, while complementary filiation is, for example, in a patriarchal society, patrilineal society, filiation is when ego having the filiation relationship with the paternal fathers or the forefathers, while if it is taken from the maternal side, like the mama or all those things, that will be complementary filiation.
Okay. So see, correct. Filiation, association with descent is filiation. Complementary filiation is two varieties. One is other than filiation, means if I am patrilineal, matrilineal side plus spouse side is called as complementary filiation, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, complementary filiation means only my descent. Patrilineal means my father side relatives are my filiation. Complementary filiation means other than my father, my mother side relatives plus my spouse side relatives also together called as complementary filiation. See, you are a district magistrate whereby you came to a information that dowry giving and dowry taking is happening. And when you went there, they denied that they didn't take dowry and they didn't give dowry, and against that they are resisting you and they are debating with you, arguing with you. So as a district collector in that particular situation, what you will do?
I think for that there is a short term and long term measures, sir. For short term, we cannot do anything if they are arguing. However, in long term, we can create awareness campaigns regarding that and empowering women not to give dowry and women and their families.
Yes, correct.
Sir,
Yes.
before answering, I would like to know whether it is a primitive society or a
No,
hereditary.
mainstream.
Then the other people who are present during the case could be investigated as to what really happened.
In dowry cases, whether we can go sumoto or we want a complaint.
I think sumoto is possible, sir.
Complaint, sir.
Complaint.
Oh, yeah.
Complaint should be there. What is section 498A?
It is a section in the IPC against domestic violence.
Domestic violence from the husband onto the wife, not only husband and in-laws, on the name of dowry. On the name of dowry, if any violence has been executed on the wife, it is called as, it comes under section 498A. As you know, it is got misused, etc., etc. In this, there is one particular section called as section 41. Anyone aware of this?
No, sir.
This is very important. What is this section 41? So, there is something called a station bail. What is station bail, sir? See, one person had gave a complaint on you. It's a criminal offense, like section 498A. Earlier, what used to happen means we can go to the police station, then and there we can talk with the SHO, circle inspector, and we can get the bail. Now what happened? The section 498 made, it is not coming under the ambit of section 41. So what under section, we will not get station bail. So compulsory we will go to the remand. From the remand, we will stay in the 14 days in the jail. From the jail, again, we will get the bail and we will come back. So two things were been happening when Section 41 was there. The SHO used to take rampant amount in the form of corruption and he used to give the bail. When Section 41 is not there, what is happening? A innocent husband is going to the jail and he's coming back. At least when Section 41 was been there, he can get the station bail. So there are some issues which are associated with Section 498 other than misuse. Anyhow, misuse is there. So this Section 41A, which is associated, we can get station bail and we cannot get station bail. What is Section 497?
Adultery, sir, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, adultery. Section 497 is part of Indian Penal Code. And under Indian Penal Code, three relations. Mainly, unmarried husband, unmarried male, married woman. Unmarried woman, married male. Unmarried men and unmarried woman. If these three type of relationships are there, it is called as adultery, cheating. So under Section 497, if any male is participating in these three relations and unmarried male is participating in these three relations, then the male will be arrested under it is a criminal offense, but not the female. So this section has been criticized as gender discrimination. Understand this. You are arresting male but not female. It is not like that. Means why they didn't keep the female? Because female is a property of the male. Anyhow, female will not go for adultery. That is the intention of Section 497. So now in 2018, under a judgment called as Shiny Judgment, 2018 Supreme Court judgment. I don't remember the judgment name. Shiny Judgment, some Christian name. Shiny Judgment. The Supreme Court gave the judgment that it is gender neutral. If the punishment should be given, the punishment should be given to both of them. But Supreme Court also told that it is a right to choice. It's right to mate with any person. Hence, it cannot be a criminal offense. But however, it can be a material for divorce. It is not criminal offense. They decriminalized it. So again, the question came that if adultery is decriminalized, whether it is going to impact the family as a social institution. Right now, what happened Supreme Court? Under Supreme Court, there is a review petition asking for decriminalized Section 497 to be recriminalized. So now the case is pending at the Supreme Court bench. This is current affair with respect to Section 497. Got it? Any doubts? If it is not clear,
Sir,
we will repeat it.
sir, but sir, the new न्याय Sanhita, or changing the name of IPC, where the adultery has been decriminalized by the government itself, by the parliament itself.
Yeah. It's a constitutional bench. Now it is pending with constitutional bench.
But so already it has been changed. IPC is no more when the president gets sanctioned to the newer न्याय
They will
Sanhita.
ask for review petition. Again, they will ask for the petition and again they will look into it. See, what will be the procedure? If any law is under question, then the Supreme Court of India can make a review of that law. Single judge is enough. If it's a constitutional amendment or a constitutional article, we need a constitutional bench to review it or to repeal it. As you told, under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, it became decriminalized. But I'm talking about 1 month back, which is pending. So just because it became the law has been changed, the petition will not change. Now it will ask the petitioner to file the petition again on the lines of Bharatiya Sanhita, Nyaya Sanhita. Got it?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Just the format will change. Definition of marriage.
But if they ask the anthropological perspective of adultery, sir,
Then we will try. You tell me, I will tell you. See, marriage definition, we will take a male and female both coming together as your definition. Male and female coming together based upon staying together, cohabitation, trust, belief, everything. So if the trust has been broken, obviously the marriage as an institution is going to fail. So anthropological context also is not allowing for adultery. But criminalizing it should be decriminalized only. It should not be recriminalized. Why? Because it is not a subject for criminal offense. It is something which is cheating. It is something which is of the choice. So it can be a subject for a divorce. You can show the adultery and you can get the divorce. But it doesn't mean that you have to be in jail. Yes or no?
yes, sir. We even can give the example of some tribes where the adultery is also
Legal.
the reasons of tribal divorce.
Yes. For example, Chenchu tribal community. In Chenchu tribal community, getting a divorce is very easy. If they prove that she is in adultery or he is in adultery, they will get the divorce very easily, which is not the case in our mainstream society. You know, in a mainstream society, if a male want divorce, it takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years old. But if female want a divorce within 6 months, she will get the divorce.
Yes, sir.
I will do family law. I'm also an advocate at Hyderabad High Court. Nowadays, I'm doing practice all family cases. Yes. What are the marriage payments? Priyal,
Yes, sir.
what are marriage payments?
So marriage payments are any sort of exchanges that happen between bride and groom family at or before after the marriage.
Oh, what are varieties?
So dowry, suitor service,
Bride price,
bride price.
gift exchange. These are simple society and mainstream society. So probationary marriage, elopement, marriage by intrusion, marriage by mutual consent. We discussed almost all contemporary things. As you know, culture relativism, I don't want to discuss about it. Culture relativism is dear, culture relativism, violation of human rights, all these things, you know. Anything you want me to discuss, I'm ready to discuss.
Sir, in that same point of dowry, if they ask, because in Indian constitution dowry is prohibited, so should we also prohibit the bride price also, because it is a similar form?
Obviously, see, it is not that much rampant. So dowry is rampant, they made a law. If bride price will become the rampant, obviously bride price also, the concept should be banned.
Yes, sir.
That concept of giving and taking should be banned. It can be anyway. But dowry is rampant, so we put the word called as dowry.
Yes, sir. But they can also say that the bride price is logical,
So like insurance, etc. Is it
because they say the bride's family is losing one working person of their family.
bride family means female.
Yes, sir.
Female is losing one person from the family and she is going to the other house. So the groom should pay it to the
Bride's family.
and that is one of the argument, isn't it?
Yes.
But the concept is should be banned. It's all about the concept. It's not about the dowry or bride price, giving and taking. Anyway,
Sir,
yes.
sir, actually, I have a question regarding this one. Sir, dowry in southern states like Telangana and Andhra Pradesh are actually promote giving schemes for marriages itself.
Giving
Money, welfare schemes for marriage, conducting marriage, sir.
like intercaste marriages.
I don't know, sir. Not intercaste, sir. For Mahalakshmi
Acha,
scheme,
acha,
something.
Mahalakshmi, Kalyana Lakshmi,
Yes, sir. That kind of
Shadi
schemes are
Mubarak.
actually increasing the dowry cases, no, sir.
See, it is something like it is not like that. It is, see, for example, I will talk about Shadi Mubarak. Shadi Mubarak is a very famous scheme of Telangana state whereby the bride, understand this very concept you have to understand the difference between the dowry and Stridhan. They very clearly mentioned in the Shadi Mubarak, Kalyana Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi schemes, they very clearly told that it is not dowry, it is Stridhan. What is Stridhan? According to Hindu Marriage Act, Stridhan, the money which will be carried by the bride while she is going to other house and establishing a new house. As she is establishing a new house, she wants some money for her expenses. So that money will be with the bride and the money will be spent on the wish of the bride. So it is not called as dowry. What is dowry? If I give the money to the groom or groom's family, it is called as dowry. Stridhan means the money will be with the bride and bride will be spending the money. It is called as Stridhan. Did you got it?
Yes, sir.
1 minute, wait. So in Shadi Mubarak, Kalyana Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, all these schemes whereby the government is paying at the time of marriage for the expenses of the marriage as Stridhan, not as dowry. And Stridhan is legal according to Hindu Marriage Act. Dowry is illegal.
Sir, but in recent societies, the dowry is given in the form of treason.
Yes, Stridhan. Stridhan means like a girl going to a girl's hostel. For her
No, sir,
expenses, the pocket money, no, the same thing.
I mean to say the bride's family is giving dowry in the form of treason to the groom's family.
No, see, that is misuse. Again, once repeat, Surender. See, tomorrow onwards, please, Surender, some problem is there only with your voice. I think you are directly talking to the computer, or please keep the mouth voice.
No, sir, I'm keeping the mouth voice.
Okay.
Sir, I mean to say, the bride's family is giving dowry to the groom in the form of Sridhar.
That is misuse. It should not be done.
Sir, is it so that the authority to spend that amount is with the girl only, or the
It
other
should, no,
family
no, no.
members can
It
use?
should be with the girl, but it is not with the girl.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
If it is with the girl, it is legal. Nikhil, anything you want me to discuss?
Sir, anything particular with respect to live-in relationship?
So this concept of sologamy as a practice of marriage. So is it something like, is it even, does it serve any purpose?
Okay, we will answer to others. What is sologamy first?
Person
Marriage
marrying
to
himself.
himself.
Is Nikhil.
The
So
person
sologamy is
marrying
the practice
himself
of
or herself.
a person marrying oneself.
Yes, self. So what is your question? Sologamy is?
Is it only a publicity stunt kind of thing, or does it even serve in does it fit in the marriage definition? And
It won't fit in marriage definition. Why? Because sologamy as a marriage format is not present in anthropology subject, is not present in sociology subject. It is not there in the rule of law. It is not there in the Constitution of India. It is not there in Hindu Marriage Act also. That means it's a it's a practice. It's a publicity stunt. It's an individual choice, which is
yes,
done by some of the famous actress Susmita Sen, isn't it? She
very
also claimed 4 or 5 years back that I am into the sologamy. I don't want any men's support.
so telling we don't want any support is one thing, and undergoing through marriage rituals. I mean, one girl from Gujarat, if I remember correctly, she did marriage rituals also. She invited all her relatives. She went through the rituals. She had a priest, and then married herself.
Yes, publicity stunt. It is not recognized anthropologically, legally, constitutionally, sociologically. So it's not called as marriage. It's just not identified. It's Article 21. She's exercising her Article 21. We
Right.
cannot tell it is illegal. We cannot tell it is wrong. She is exercising her Article 21 of the Constitution. If in UPSC interview, if they ask it, it is not present in the anthropological definitions. Legally, it is not present. So it is her choice that I am not dependent upon any of the spouse. I am independent. So showing of independence is one form of sologamy.
Right.
Sir, can you give few anthropological perspectives for live-in relationship?
Huh?
Anthropological perspectives for live-in relationship.
Anthropological perspective for living relationship. See, according to living relationship, both unmarried, one married, another unmarried, one married, another unmarried. These three relations are called as live-in relationship according to Sharma and Sharma judgment of 2013. So it is satisfying the some of the definitions where a male and female coming together, establishing the cohabitation, living under a single roof, and participating in the sexual rights. These all things. But the only problem is whether the children born to this particular relationship are legally recognized or not. Religious acceptance is not there, societal acceptance is there, and the children are getting legal acceptance from the society is also one thing which is questioning. Hence, from the definition of anthropology, we can tell that live-in relationship is not accepted socially and religiously.
Sir, is there any anthropologist's view regarding this?
See, for example, there is a probationary marriage, no? The whole tribal community. So both will be into the probation. If they are staying together, then they can get married. So live-in relationship is accepted anthropologically, but not permanent relationship. After some point of time, they get into marriage relationship.
Thank you, sir.
So here also we can use the talk on the functions of marriage, where two functions of marriage like the permanent gratification of sexual relation and reproduction is not fulfilled by living relationship.
Okay, Manaswini, clear? We will meet tomorrow. Economic
Yes, sir.
anthropology, political anthropology, religion. In religion, I'm going to discuss about Sarnaism. Sarnaism, a popular religion of Middle East, Middle India, Madhya Bharat. Some totems, some taboos, some new current affairs which happened. These all things I will be discussing tomorrow. Okay?